Stay tuned for the Bulldozer Health Show, brought to you by Bulldozer Health Incorporated. The opinions stated on this show are not necessarily those of this station. All listeners should check with a trusted health advisor before following specific medical advice.
Hello, my name is Wendy Love Edge, and I'd like to welcome you to the Bulldozer Health Show. In this episode, I'll be sharing ideas with Denise Youngblood and Helen Ames from Cryofactor Wellness Center. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Wendy. We're so excited to be here.
I'm so glad you're both here. So tell me, what is cryotherapy?
Whole body cryotherapy is a cold therapy using nitrogen-cooled air in a chamber to reduce inflammation in the body. It's a 3-minute treatment where a person steps into a chamber. They're raised to where their head is above the chamber, the rest of the body, if they're not too tall. We have a lot of basketball players that half their body's out of there.
Okay.
But anyway, that they get in the chamber for 3 minutes. Temperatures range from -160 to -290.
Oh my goodness, -160 to -290. So you said something, whole body cryotherapy. Is there a not whole body? Is there a difference?
Well, not for us,
Okay.
but I think there are treatments out there that use localized cryotherapy for treatments or for therapies, but ours is whole body.
Whole body.
Yeah, and the idea behind that is that not only is it reducing, inflammatory issues, that may be associated with autoimmune diseases, with injuries, it is doing so many other things in the body, such as improving the immune system, creating a metabolic boost so that you're burning calories while you're in there, addressing pain issues, increasing your endorphins, hitting feel-good receptors, all kinds of things that that the body is experiencing while going through the therapy, going through the cold body.
And that's all in a 3-minute treatment?
180 seconds.
And the reaction is systemic, so the 3 minutes is just the facilitator, and then after those 3 minutes is when you start gaining the effects throughout the rest of the day, possibly into the next day, although it's good to do it every day.
Really?
If possible.
So a person comes for a treatment that lasts about 3 minutes, and then the effects of it, they won't really see all the benefits until
Well, they'll start
later in the
feeling it
day.
about, when they start getting out, people are usually going, wow, I'm already starting to feel relaxed or energized. Interestingly, it can go both directions. So you might feel like you have more and more energy, but then you're calmer and calmer within your mind. You're able to sleep better at night. It really stabilizes mood.
Wow, there's
and
a lot
it's
of great
safer than an ice
benefits.
bath, which is great. When I first started coming, I was putting my leg in an ice bath, and that allows for 24 hours almost before you can go exercise, run, do much on it. It's actually more risk for tissue damage and less benefits overall. It can lower your core temperature, while cryo actually
Regulates
raises
the
your core
blood.
temperature.
So that being in the whole body chamber raises your body temperature?
It does. Ironically, my armpits start to sweat when I'm in there.
Really?
In -270.
Wow.
That doesn't happen to everybody, but
Sure.
It doesn't change your core temperature though. Once the skin, it works on the premise of the skin, the reduction in the skin temperature.
Okay.
And once that reaches a certain degree, your blood rushes from extremities to the core and starts protecting the organs that the body or the brain is thinking or has been tricked into the fight or flight place to think that it's in danger of hypothermia. So therefore the heart starts basically super pumping, enriching the red blood cells, oxygenating the red blood cells, decreasing white blood cells that are the cause of our pain, inflammation, until you step out of the chamber, start to warm back up. Then the blood goes from core back out to the extremities, flushing toxins, reducing inflammation.
That's amazing,
It
and
is
such a
amazing.
short treatment, but it's so cold. Do people ever complain that it's just amazingly too cold? Or
Well, her husband Cliff was a really great example, or ex-husband.
Yeah, we have a little video of Clifford in there, but
he didn't care for the cold too much.
no, I had to push the door and trap him in there. But that was, but you know.
But you would not
that's
do
the
that
love
with a
of an
patient.
Ex-husbands were
Yeah,
hurt.
that's the love of an ex-husband there.
Oh, I
you know.
see.
No, there's every now and then, we're in there the whole time with them. So basically, it's like my kid said, dream job, Mom. You get to have somebody in a place, talk to them. They can't get out. And so it's we take their mind off of the fact that how cold it is, and it is only 3 minutes.
Right.
So kind of you can wrap your head around that whole 180 seconds. Sort of mind over matter type thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's cold.
Well, and both of us teaching yoga, we both teach yoga, and if you study philosophies behind yoga, a lot of that says, people are really against going into things that they find aversions to.
Sure.
They want to find things that have pleasure, but if you're constantly seeking pleasure, you end up in a painful situation usually if you're like, you know what, I'm not going to go on the run, I'm going to sit on the couch and eat some ice cream today, really pleasurable today, accumulated over years.
Right.
Or if you go, you know what, it's kind of uncomfortable for me to get out and do some exercise, or maybe I'm not eating exactly what I want, or I'm going to get in this cold and it's actually very, I have this strong aversion to it, but then usually if you jump into aversion, you come out with pleasure in the end. So it's a really good trick for
Very
your mind and
interesting.
emotional
I like
mental
that.
well-being. Yeah.
And it does work that way. I mean, you get in there, and there's never once that I have thought, and we do it every day. And you don't have to do it every day, but it almost has this addictive value to it where, because it addresses your endorphins.
It increases the endorphins, right, which makes you feel great.
Yeah.
I speak with a lot of people around the country, and myself included, and say, I know you may not be feeling well today, but get out and take a walk. Get some sunshine if possible, and get the endorphins flowing, because naturally your body wants you to be in a balanced, happy state, right? So it sounds like this would really help with that. So I was reading that this treatment started in Japan, right? And it was initially mainly for rheumatoid arthritis, was what I read. And I was thinking, with things like arthritis, people really kind of seek warmth frequently. So do you have patients that you might have to educate and talk to them about that, and how this cold treatment could really help them?
Yeah, I mean, we explain to them when they get in there, that initially it's cold, but when they get out, they warm up very quickly, and the value of the therapy opposed to the cold is so great that, that they quickly forget about it. It's kind of like when you have a baby, you go through those pains and you think, oh my God, I'll never do this. But then it's like, oh,
then you kind of forget about it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
And you're back in that boat again. Yeah.
But no, we have them, when they get in, we provide gloves, wool boots, socks.
Okay.
So the extremities are covered. And then women are able to get in, without clothing, naked. Men have to wear underwear.
Okay.
And, but
Why is that?
They have an extremity.
yeah.
Oh, right, to
Yeah.
keep it covered,
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
So the extremities are protected. Anything that's could get too cold, really,
Yes.
right? Like a hypothermia situation,
Exactly.
right? So do you have a patient that you can think of that came in with, a lot of pain and debility that made a lot of improvement? Is there someone that you can think of that you could tell us about?
Lots. It's
Lots of
just,
people. How great is
How
that?
much time do you have? Yeah,
Right.
lots. I'm going to start with me.
Okay.
I, because I get in it all the time, there's very, very seldom do I have any sort of chronic pain going on. I do yoga, I walk, I bike, but I was out of it for about 5 days, and I was moving, and I woke up on a Monday, had this excruciating pain in my foot, and couldn't weight bear, and sort of self-diagnosed plantar fasciitis. And
Oh, that's painful.
I'd never had it before, so I had no idea what was going on. So I go down to cryo, and I thought, and I was going to teach yoga that morning. I thought, I'm not going to be able to teach. So I got in, and of course my feet are covered, boots, socks, got in, did the therapy, got out, walked back to the yoga room, and by the time I got back there, my pain was probably 95% gone.
Wow.
Yeah. which the amazing thing to me is and I know that it works because I have other clients that get in there and get out, but it validated the whole systemic aspect of it because of having the feet covered during the treatment.
Right, so it's not just, like you were saying with the ice bath, you're just on that part of your extremity.
Well, and you're actually,
this is giving a systemic response.
And you're at more risk, like she was saying, hypothermia, you're at more risk of getting hypothermia in cold water or ice water than you are going in this the whole body cryogenic tank.
In fact, we have athletes that come in and get in pre-performance before they go because it elasticizes the muscles, gives them that endorphin increase, that extra energy, and then after they have performed, come in. So it's performance enhancing as well as for recovery.
Wow. Wow, that sounds wonderful.
And people find they're more flexible. I mean, you'll see people walk in that can't hardly walk in, and when they come out, they're able to just move in a lot more ways from that.
That's great
extra.
that they see some immediate changes in relief, because we're kind of an instant society, aren't we?
Yeah.
So people probably really like that. They can come in and they see some change, right away. So is there anyone that really shouldn't do this treatment?
Contraindications would be anyone that has had heart attack, any kind of heart issues, untreated high blood pressure. It does raise the blood pressure, or can raise the blood pressure a few points after. It is vasoconstricting.
Okay.
So it does great things for headaches. But if you have any kind of heart or issues or any kind of blood clots or anything like that, we would not want someone in there with that. Raynaud's. Although I've had people with mild cases of Raynaud's that get in, and we just protect their, put 2 pairs of gloves, 2 pairs of socks.
If it's on their hand, or if it's the Raynaud's in the hand or the feet. Right.
And I think that's pregnant.
Oh, pregnant women, right. Yeah, I could see that might not be a good idea.
Defibrillator pacemakers, are not, but I have had a guy that's, because we don't see the people as they're stepping in the chamber, and it is on our release form. I had a guy get out one day, and I said, "What is that?" He goes, "It's my defibrillator, my pacemaker." And I thought, and he'd been doing it a year. So, so there's just things that protect the client as well as us. But ultimately, as long as some of them have their doctor's approval, if we don't know, then we tell them, if your doctor signs off on it, then we're fine.
Right. Sure. I mean, it could be, come down to the physician's assessment of that particular patient.
Exactly.
But it's good to let people know that could be a contraindication and something that they should be aware of.
And we take their blood pressure before they get in the first time and make sure that their blood pressure is good, their weight is good.
Wow, great medical comprehensive care. That's wonderful.
Give you a little love.
So tell me a little more about the Wellness Center, because I think when we first met Denise, it was mainly Cryofactor, but you've expanded. And so what other services do you have at Cryofactor Wellness?
Well, we have compression boots, which are graduated leg compression, deep tissue massage boots that we put on people that have had knee surgery, injuries with the legs, that are runners, that are bikers, it's like deep tissue, graduated deep tissue massage for the patients or the clients. I'm gonna let Helen tell you about the yoga.
So we're both certified teachers, and I'm also and working on getting Denise helping me do it, but we're doing alignment-based stuff. So she's been my assistant right now, and we're going to get her where she's doing it all on her own. But
so this is yoga?
It is.
What is alignment?
So it's functional mobility and just alignment therapy. So I was trained by a lady, Michelle Edwards, on the island of Kauai. I highly recommend everybody go and spend a few weeks with her there also. But if not, you can come see us here in Fayetteville. And it's amazing. I've had a lady come in that, she was saying, she was going in to have back surgery that day. I couldn't get her in for different times before. And she called me, she said, I took an ibuprofen, they couldn't do the surgery on me. Can you just help me get in enough comfort that I can not take painkillers so I can have the surgery Monday or Tuesday of next week? So I came over, we did 3 sessions, and she's never gonna have the surgery. She's out of pain in 3 sessions.
Oh my goodness.
All it
so
is
it's an alignment therapy.
It is, and so it's actually, saying yoga, the yoga and the alignment have a little bit different techniques. We don't do forward folds in the alignment. We don't put yourself in any position that you might injure your back. A lot of people, the majority of people that are coming in have back issues. And so this technique actually says that your back is hurting not because it's tight, but because it's overstretched. And our front is what's tight because we're sitting in this chair position quite frequently. And that is also stretched out because we're also in that 90-degree angle, so we're extending. So we spend time shortening the back muscles through activating and engaging them. So what actually hurts, we're not gonna stretch or release tension from that. We're gonna add tension, and we're gonna stretch and release the front. And through that, we get balanced tensegrity. And so it's kind of like a tent poles. If you shorten the front tent poles, it's not going to work properly. Our nervous system is really smart and knows that. So it's going to shorten the back side in equal amounts to balance that out. And then we start getting this chronic pain.
Right. The body is so smart, isn't it?
It is. It's incredible.
That sounds wonderful. So is there anything else that you're offering besides that?
Right now, oil therapy. We're doing essential oil therapy that we do for emotional, physical, mental. We're having little oil parties where we're blending our own. It's
nice.
And empowering people to be able to take some of these things into their home to support their wellness so that they won't have to, and that's really what we want, is we want a place where, we see a lot of people that are coming in sick already, that are already in pain. But our goal is really to help those people get out of pain, yes, but also to empower our community to have the tools that they need to be healthy, to be happy, to be emotionally fulfilled, and that way that they're not in those positions where they're in the doctor's office looking for something in a bottle to make them happy or to release their stress.
Offering alternative, methods of therapy rather than.
It sounds like you have something really for the whole body, emotional and physical. And you're absolutely right. Our current mainstream healthcare system kind of puts people in a sort of a victim role, patient role, right, and treating symptoms. It sounds like you're starting with the symptoms to help people kind of get stabilized and out of pain, but then you're offering all of these different opportunities to become empowered in your own health. And that is a wonderful thing. That's a beautiful
your own
thing.
Self, your own being, finding sense of purpose, sense of self. I do have to, Wendy, add something. You're asking about clients that have, that I feel like have had an impact, that the cryo's had an impact on them. We have a woman, and cryo does not claim to be a cure.
Right.
Right? It is a therapy, and, and if used, works. We believe works for what?
Supports wellness, and then our bodies, like you say, are so incredible that if you give it the tools it needs, then it will generally take care of itself in a lot of situations.
Yes.
But we have a woman that comes in that was diagnosed, probably 4 months ago with stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, really sad, and she In fact, her son was the one that asked for her to come here and do the cryo, and she talked to her oncologist, and because she was going to begin chemo. So her doctor said it can't hurt, anything. So she started coming in 4 days, committing to 4 days a week, 2 days on, 2 days off. She has done 4 treatments of the chemo, in addition to the cryo. Lots of prayers, lots of energy out there, healing energy sent to her.
Healing, sure.
Yeah. Last week, she went in for a PET scan and is in remission, which I think totally amazed the doctor.
Wow.
He, and like I said, we don't claim for cryo to be a cure for anything, but we have to believe that in itself, through the enriching of the red blood cells, the reoxygenating them, had to have some impact, on her, where she's at in her healing.
Right, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and we have to, people
excited.
can draw their own conclusions. And like you say, we can't say this is a cure, but certainly that's some great evidence that she improved her health.
Well, it's a way of life for me. It will be. If I didn't have a machine that I could get in, believe me, I'd be finding one to get in.
Right,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, my mother was hit by a drunk driver, lost her leg.
Oh my
We get her
gosh.
in there. It's difficult. We get her up in there. The hardest part is getting her up out of the wheelchair and into the tank, but her mood is stabilized. She doesn't have to take painkillers. She has all this energy.
Wonderful.
I can get her into yoga class. She's like, oh, yoga made me feel great,
It's so wonderful to hear these stories. So thank you so much for joining me and bringing this information to people. I appreciate it.
Thank you,
And thanks for
Wendy.
all the wonderful work that you do.
Thank you for all the wonderful
Thank
work
you for
you
what
do.
you are doing. Yes, absolutely.
Bulldozer Health Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization and healthcare reform initiative. You can find us at bulldozerhealth.org. Take back your health, America.
Don't wanna live in the shadow. Now you found a brighter day. Let's find the strength we need to cast all our fears away. There's a power within us to live and light our way. We can hold it like a fire, set this life ablaze. We can take back our power. Rise up, see the light. We can all stand together. See our visions come to life. We can take back the freedom. Never give up this fight. Look ahead, no regrets. Time to take back our life. It's time to take back our life. Take back your health, America.
Hi, I'm Wendy Love Edge, and I am the host of the Bulldozer Health Show. The Bulldozer Health Show is a podcast, television show, and radio show, and we produce it in many different formats so that we can reach as many people as possible and educate them about all of their health options, especially natural health options. I love to interview alternative health providers and get really up close and personal with them, find out why they started doing this type of treatment, the science behind it, how it could help someone to improve their health and wellness, and what a person could expect when they go to see them. I also interview activists for all different types of health-related causes, such as Lyme disease, cannabis, just to name a couple of things. I interview physicians. I interview people who have found success through doing their own research, finding natural methods that improve their health and lifestyle choices, and bring their story forward so people can be inspired and figure out that their health truly is mainly in their own hands and that they can find different options for themselves.
The Food and Drug Administration on their own website states that a drug is a prescription when a medical professional is required to supervise its use because the patient cannot safely use the drug on their own. Why then are drug companies allowed to market directly to the patient? This puts Americans' health at risk every day. Let's fight back and get this public health risk off of television.
Bulldozer Health Incorporated is a 501c3 nonprofit organization and healthcare reform initiative. The mission is to educate people about all available healthcare options, improve access to alternative healthcare, and to inspire people to achieve optimal health and wellness. Among our many programs are the Take Back Your Health America benefit concerts. These concert events travel from state to state raising awareness and raising funds with free on-site sessions offered by healthcare providers, silent auctions featuring original art, products, and services, door gifts and prizes from generous sponsors, and a great lineup of musical performances. A portion of funds go to help individuals pay for alternative healthcare, including cannabis and cannabis legalization fees where funds are available. There are many opportunities for you to be involved. Please visit bulldozerhealth.org for much more information. Thank you for your time and energy, and take back your health, America.
Hi, this is Sunta Africa with your Bulldozer Health Tip of the Week. Love yourself. Self-love is very important. Be able to look yourself right in the eye in the mirror, and with every piece of your heart, say I love you, just the way you are, with all your flaws. I love you, just the way you are today. And really mean it, because we all want love, right? Take back your health, America.
I've wished you well, but it's been too long now. We've traveled so far away. We've traveled so far away, yeah.
In this episode, I'll be interviewing Stephen Mandilli. I'll be speaking with Julius Jones. We're on location at Just Breathe in Worcester, Massachusetts, in Leominster, Massachusetts, in Natick, Massachusetts. Bulldozer Health Show.
Unexpectedly, she returns to me like a wave